Welcome to the podcast. I'm John.
I'm Lizzie.
And this is Harry Potter and the First Time Readers. Second time reader. We have, one more podcast after this? I'm going to still mess it up.
Yikes.
Okay. We're doing 28 through 33 today. It's like a lot of good stuff in these chapters. How'd you like them?
It was good.
A lot of answers?
Wait, I didn't read 33. I read to 32.
I mean 32, yeah.
Okay.
28 to 32, yeah, sorry.
I was laying in bed last night at like 11 o'clock and I opened this book and I was like, oof, this is a big chunk.
11 o'clock you started it?
Yeah.
Dang. What time do you go to bed? Like
I don't
1?
know. I just like fell asleep during the battle and then I set my alarm so that I had like extra time this morning to finish it.
Dedication.
It was great. I know. I felt like I was like cramming for finals or something.
That is incredible.
But it was very enjoyable because it kept me up for like hours, I guess. And yeah, there like a lot is going on because this is a whole battle.
Yeah.
And then it ends with like the Elder Wand part. So, and the Room of Requirement, which is exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, you nailed a lot of your predictions.
I don't think I ever said it was that crown, but I was...
You were convinced it was in the Room of Requirement.
I was good on the requirement.
And then you texted me that one crazy prediction that you had.
Oh, yeah. Like way back in the...
Oh, so funny.
That was only the Order of Phoenix, I think. But I didn't even know what Horcruxes were. And I was like, maybe he needs to destroy it with the sword. Like he does with the Fang. So that was cool. I'm feeling a little bit better about myself now. But yeah, I remembered there being other people in there. And I just like couldn't pinpoint it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Malfoy, Crabbe, and Goyle.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. It's... The first chapter 28 is the missing mirror, in which, what do you find out in this chapter?
That, what's his name? Is
Aberforth?
Yeah, Aberforth is still like around in Hogsmeade, I guess. And like that you can have access to the school, but then he's the guy in the mirror.
If you reread this, you're going to see there's like small little references to Harry goes into the Hogshead in the Order of the Phoenix, and he sees a barman that looks vaguely familiar to him, but he doesn't know who. So she put hints in this that this is Aberforth, nothing like explicit.
That was his first time meeting Aberforth though, right?
Yeah. He's seen him before, but it's the first time like officially meeting him.
Yeah, that was wild.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know if I ever said that, but because I feel like I didn't say this because it's so meaningless, but I had a memory of them being in the street and somebody like dragging them inside a building. But like that was like, I don't even think I said that because that's the entirety of what I remembered and it was so pointless.
That could have been at any point in the entire series.
But that was that. So I did remember that. Didn't remember as Aberforth. And then Neville is like fully like running the show of the DA.
He's like all beaten up, scarred, but he's running the whole thing.
He's cool now. I like him.
So proud of Neville. He's got some great lines in this and some, even his like grandma coming. Oh, I love that.
For a second, I thought that the portrait was going to open and it was just going to be like Dumbledore standing there. Like it was me.
What's up, guys? It was me the whole time.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Neville instead.
In the missing mirror, Aberforth gives like a little bit of a deeper understanding of Dumbledore's family and like what happened. What did you think about that whole thing? Did you trust Aberforth? You think this is a real story?
I really like Aberforth.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Like probably equally as much as Dumbledore.
Wow. One chapter of Aberforth does it for you.
I just think he's a cool dude.
Yeah, honestly. He's got a fun job, like little barman of this
and he's just been like hiding out kind of like he's so low key that like why would you be lying about this? Like if you're here the whole time you could have like had a whole you could just like convince everybody that comes in your bar of this and you like don't talk about it ever.
Yeah.
I felt like it was just like a rant all of a sudden where he's like, I've never had anyone to talk to. Here's the entire story. And I don't know. I kind of want to believe him.
He's kind of like living the life that I want to live. Just like a quiet little life, like working as like, he probably owns and operates this thing. Not doing a ton. just like living a quiet life, like very
goats.
peaceful. Not the goat thing, definitely not the goat thing, but definitely just like his life, other than the goats.
I could see that.
But yeah, I like Aberforth too. After he talked about this, what do you think of Grindelwald?
What do we learn about Grindelwald in this though? That like they were fighting and then that's like somebody killed the sister.
They don't know really who. And then he says Dumbledore never forgave himself, which you could probably see.
Like Grindelwald should have just let it go.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't like him in the first place, I don't think, so.
He's a little shady. Everything that he was doing, it was a little ridiculous, but.
Yeah, but then like Dumbledore should have been able to like get out of that sooner.
Yeah.
Like he should not have let it go that far.
Yeah. And then Dumbledore definitely carries that with him for, I feel like, the rest of his life. There's a line in there he speaks a line in another movie, in one of the other movies, where he says, what is it, like, forgiveness is like a balm, I've been told. Or like he doesn't even believe, he like hasn't really like forgiven himself, or like he said something like that. Forgiveness of yourself is like a balm or something like that. And then he just says, I've been told, because he hasn't really ever forgiven himself for what he's done, even though he doesn't even know if he was the one that, cast the spell.
That's why I kind of like Aberforth, is he's more removed from that whole situation.
Yeah.
And he was like apparently a really good caretaker and like loved his family. So
he's a little quirky, but he definitely like has the right priorities in life.
Yeah.
I feel like this whole series is like a bunch of people who are vying for power, and then it's like the people who don't want power that I admire sometimes the most. Like Harry, who's like, doesn't really care for power. Aberforth, who just like wants to like be with his family and care about his family. Like those are great people in this series. I love them.
I agree.
Did you have anything else in this chapter? There's not a ton. There's just a reveal of Aberforth being the person in the mirror, and then Neville coming at the end, which is great.
No, yeah, that was it.
Chapter 29 is a lost diadem. What's a quick summary of this one?
This is when they get into Hogwarts and then they start searching for the crown, right?
Gotta read something.
Oh, and like the whole DA kind of like reconvenes.
Yeah.
Like Cho and other people start coming.
Yeah. And this is when they figure out what they kind of have to do and like where this other thing is, and they're trying to look for it and trying to figure out where it could be. They know what it is, but they don't know where it is.
Yeah, like they just know it's in Hogwarts.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, why can't you take us with you? Like, we're here to help. We're Dumbledore's army.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't take you. But then he finally figures out, oh, you can fight the battle and be in a war for me while I go on the little scavenger hunt. What
did you think about that whole thing? Because isn't that, to me, that's it. Like, would you, if you're in Harry's position, tell everyone what really they need to do?
Like, would I tell them what I'm doing?
Yeah. Like Harry with the Horcruxes and everything that he's doing. Should Harry just blat out be like, okay, this is what we need to find, the diadem of Ravenclaw, because Voldemort put part of his soul in it, so we have to destroy this thing in order to defeat him.
Honestly, yeah, because anybody can kill a Horcrux.
Yeah.
Harry needs to make it to kill Voldemort. But I guess, like, Harry wouldn't... If Harry dies, Voldemort's not dying anyway. But, like, to have 50 people or whatever amount there is being able to look for the Horcrux, it's like you're gonna increase your chance of success there. Yeah. And if anybody can do it, it's like, yeah, why not let everybody go?
But he's like,
or he can then sit back and be safe and then be like, you go kill the Horcrux, I'll go kill Voldemort. But he would never do that, I don't think.
And he's like casting that. He's like, you guys all march out the battle, like prep the castle for war, and I'll go look for this thing.
It's crazy.
Which is a little weird. I kind of understand that Harry is being secretive here and he doesn't want to communicate these things, which is very part of his character.
He needs them though. It wouldn't get done if.
Yeah.
They weren't helping.
What do you think about all the kids that are rebelling right now? So they're even talking about like, there was like a funny line with Gran. Neville says, the thing was, he faced them. And Harry was astonished to see that he was grinning. They bit off a bit more than they could chew with Gran. Little old witch living alone. They probably thought they didn't need to send anyone particularly powerful. Anyway, Neville laughed. Dawlish is still in St. Mungo's and Gran's on the run. She sent me a letter. He clapped a hand to his breast pocket of his robes, telling me she was proud of me, that I'm my parents' son, and to keep it up. That's so cute.
Yeah. Morale is very high in the DA, which I was kind of surprised about.
Seriously, yeah.
And they're like, as soon as he comes back, somebody's like, we're loyal to Dumbledore. We're loyal to you. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like, it just is like, that's the next step that they were all expecting. Like, they were waiting for Harry to come. He's going to do something crazy. We're all going to help. And that's like how it goes. And like, they're literally getting unforgivable curses against them. And they're just like willing to take it.
Which is incredible for them. Like what the DA has become at this point is a pretty remarkable thing. Like how strong these people are.
Yeah.
I think they're
a SWAT team.
Yeah, seriously. They honestly are.
Little kids.
Like they've become very, very mentally and like emotionally strong. Like Neville being able to kind of like carry the banner for all these guys. And their spirits definitely do get like lifted when Harry's there, but these guys are all incredible.
Yeah, and Dean, Luna, and Ginny were not even there.
Yeah.
Like they just joined. Or not, they rejoined. And they had it equally as hard, just in different places.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, it's crazy.
Yep. Yeah, they kind of figure out the diadem. They're like trying to figure out where the diadem could be. And they don't really come to the realization it could be in the room of requirement here, but you know that it's in the room of requirement. So
Voldemort really thought that was just him.
Right.
That's insane.
Isn't that nuts?
How did he figure that out? Like by accident, or did he figure it out purposefully? And that's like what's different is that everybody else finds it accidentally.
I don't know. That's actually a good question of how he would find out about the room of requirement. He might have found out about it accidentally, but maybe he heard like, I don't know. He definitely didn't hear rumors of it because it was something that he thought he alone knew the secrets of. I feel like his knowledge of the castle was just next level. Like
maybe he was like
chamber.
Sensing the magic, like how
it could be something
Dumbledore did.
like that. Yeah,
because I feel like if you earned your way into it and like you actually did magic to find it, that's more like you would brag about being so smart or whatever, and everybody else is like, oh, I need a bathroom, and then it's that's like very boom. True. So I don't know. He's
got like a metal detector, but like a magic detector going around, and like he finds like a concentrated dose of magic at that door.
And Dumbledore definitely knew about it.
Yeah. All the teachers knew like that. This is the biggest shortcoming of Voldemort is his pride and thinking that he's like privy to all this knowledge and like he's the only one that has like all these incredible things. But like I would be very curious what the room requirement looked like when he stashed his thing in it. If it was still full of like all objects, it had to have been.
Is it just empty? But why would you think nobody's been there?
Agreed. If there's a ton of stuff, maybe he thought it was like all, like I don't know, discarded stuff in the castle that goes in like a trash can and all ends up there or something like that. Maybe he just thought it was the dump. That's my question too. Like if you see tons of stuff at this location, why would you not think that people haven't been there before and that you're the only one that knows about this?
Unless if maybe he like invented the magic of the room of requirement.
Nope. No. I don't think so.
Why is that not an option?
Because the room of requirements existed before he was there. Like he wasn't the one that created it. One of the founders created it. I think they say Helga Hufflepuff was the one that created it or something like that. So it's been there for the entire existence of the school, but this dummy's over here thinking that he's the one that is like the smart guy.
Ego.
Yeah, exactly.
The ego's talking.
Yeah.
And this is where is this where Ron and Hermione go to the chamber?
Mm-hmm. They go to the chamber in the next chapter. Or maybe even the one after that. But yeah, what do you think? What is your thought on that?
I thought that was cool how they just like thought of that themselves and then
Agreed.
just destroyed it, not even talking to Harry about it. They just knew what they needed to do.
Yeah.
And then Ron is like able to speak in parcel tongue even though he can't.
Because of his dreams.
I can just picture him hissing and be like, "This is what you sound like." So I did that.
The movies portray that really well. I think the movies do a great job of that because they actually give you like the scene of them in the Chamber of Secrets. And like that's like their first kiss or something like that was there after Hermione destroys it. It's like really cute.
I thought the fangs were like, is there not just like 2 fangs on a snake?
Yeah, this snake seems to have rows of teeth. Like rows of fangs.
And one would already be used.
Yeah.
So you have one.
Yeah.
And they just sit there for like 5 years and then...
That's a great question. How many fangs does...
Because I feel like they'd need to be fresh too. Is it the venom in them or am I making that up? Is it literally just the fang?
No, I think it's the venom in them.
Because that I feel like would be non-existent at this point too.
Yeah, Basilisks had, I guess, 2 main fangs and then a bunch of little fangs that are just teeth. Or fangs just teeth?
Baby teeth.
Yeah, little baby teeth, exactly.
Do those count? Those don't work?
I guess those work.
You need big teeth?
Yeah, you probably need the big ones.
That's funny.
Concentrated dose of poison. Someone's saying lots of snakes have many teeth. I did not even know that. I thought all snakes had 2 little fangs. That was about it. I guess.
The more you know.
Yeah.
And then Harry does another unforgivable curse. I think that's this chapter. Or wait.
Mm-hmm.
No, it ends with the Caro guy like turning around and be like, haha. But.
And that's where, this is where Harry's about to do it, yeah. Which is the next chapter. So the sacking of Severus Snape is the next one. And this is where they sack Severus Snape. They start preparing for battle pretty much. All these chapters are like one big chapter essentially. They just go from one thing to the other.
I know. I feel like there's so much. Like if we went line by line, I feel like we could talk about a lot. But like when you look at it as a whole, I'm kind of just like enjoying the story, and it's like let's just keep going. You know?
Honestly,
like I feel like these are like the most important chapters almost of things that's happened. And then we're spending like 5 minutes on them. But
honestly, it's fun because you're like looking at the story, and I think this is kind of what happens when you get lost in the story. Like you come up with all sorts of predictions and character studies on other people early on, and then now it's just like, you know, in the previous chapter it was like, oh, isn't it cool that, you know, Aberforth was the guy that was in the mirror? Yeah. The next one you're like, isn't it cool that, you know, it's the Helena Ravenclaw's, you know, lost diadem? Where do you think that is? It's answered in the next chapter. So there's like more revelations. Yeah.
It's like the ending the story, or like, I don't know, stopping all the theories. Yep.
And the next 3 chapters that you read will be the long discussions. They each kind of will be centered around one character, and
each chapter respectively.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So that'll be like the real fun stuff, I think. Those are the 3 chapters that everyone thinks is unanimously the best 3 chapters in Harry Potter. It's like the crux of the story right there.
She goes out with a bang.
Goes out in a bang.
Okay. I know the final things that I know are coming is like Harry and Dumbledore in that white room.
Okay.
And he's like, is this a dream? And he's like, I think he says like, even if it is a dream, like why is or it's like not real or something like that. Close. Yeah. Wait, I could probably think of it. But then I just remember like at the end there's like the little revisiting of the trio, and they're like all together, and like Ginny and Harry are together, Ron and Hermione. But that's all I know. That's all I know that's coming. I think more people die, but I don't remember who. I don't remember how Voldemort dies.
Sad.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to read those.
Is it like, is this real? And then he's like, or is it a dream? He's like,
he goes, is this real, or is this just happening all in my head?
Oh, and he's like, why does that make it not real if it's in your head?
Yep. Look at that. Look at that. It's all coming back. You're going to be able to dictate everything in the next chapter. You're like, I remember it perfectly now.
I'm sure.
What do you think about the Harry using Crucio in this chapter?
I love it.
Whoa.
I absolutely love it.
Explain.
Yeah, I just think it's really cool. I think it needs to be done. I think it's awesome that he does it in front of the other students too, because it's like they can see that he's taking it super seriously and like he's kind of grown up as a wizard. And like that's what it's come down to. So, and then it's like the most terrible people ever too that he's doing it to.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is kind of awesome.
Yeah.
And he does it in front of McGonagall to protect McGonagall, and I love McGonagall. So I love it. Why do you not love it?
This one seemed a little. I actually love this one written in there because it makes Harry a human. And it, like, you know, he's not perfectly in control of all of his emotions. Yeah. But you've seen that in the entire series. I actually do really like this because for that reason. But I was just editing the podcast where we were talking about the ethics of like using evil to fight evil and the difference between vengeance and justice. And this one just seems...
I like go back on what I've said so many times in this podcast. Sure. Though. I change my mind every other chapter.
We can make a podcast about all the amendments that we make to our opinions on this. But the idea that Harry's using it here, I like it because it makes him more human, but I don't like it because he's resorting to pretty gross means against his enemies.
Do you think he'd be like, what else could he have done in this situation? What would you have done?
And like do the same thing, stun them, tie them up, put them in a dungeon, let them just sit there until the battle's over and they can stand trial.
But I think it kind of gives permission to everybody else to start using them, and in a war, like everything's fair in love and war. I mean,
yeah, we're talking about what are the rules of war? But
because the Death Eaters, are gonna come in and be abracadabraing everyone.
But if you're using these ugly spells, how does that make you better than your opponent?
It doesn't. It makes you equal.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So the good side needs to not use those. They need to do what is right by the law.
Disadvantageous?
Huh?
Disadvantage?
Yeah. Like you stun people.
But Voldemort's not following the law, so...
Agreed, for sure. So it's war. It's different. I'm not necessarily a pacifist with all this stuff. So you got to do what you got to do. But Avada Kedavra is just an ugly curse. Crucio is an ugly curse. Imperius is an ugly curse. Like I don't... maybe they could use Avada Kedavra, but the only issue with that,
what?
Because if you're using, because this is it is a war. You're not trying to torture someone, because I associate torture with you're enjoying someone else's pain, which seems wrong. I feel like the good people shouldn't do that. Okay. And then Imperius, where you're controlling someone against their will, I'm okay, if you're gonna do it, Avada, you said in one podcast, death is a mercy or something like that.
Death is a kindness.
Yeah. I think Peaky Blinders, whatever you said.
Yep.
In this situation in war, it if these people are trying to kill you, you try to kill them back, but you don't try to capture them and then torture them. Harry using Crucio here, it makes sense in writing because he's not going to kill someone. But it's a little crazy still. I don't know.
Agree to disagree. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I just think it's scarier to just go full send to Avada Kedavra. Because who knows if those kids have ever even done an unforgivable curse. And Imperio was the first one that Harry did, which I think is the calmest one, and he used it pretty chill. He was just
for sure,
making people move around.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Those kids wouldn't even do that, I don't think.
Yeah, agreed on that front.
Is he not? Oh, is he in Ravenclaw right now? Because I was gonna say if he's in Hufflepuff, nobody's doing it.
No, he's in Ravenclaw. Again, it just seems strange to me because it's different from using a weapon. Avada Kedavra, you have to really mean it. So when these kids, I don't even think that these kids could cast Avada Kedavra because it's like you have to truly want the other person dead.
No, yeah, I think there's too much fear.
Yeah.
Harry might be the only one who can do it because he actually has like the pent up hatred from this.
For sure. Like I think some of them would probably be able to do it, but I just don't think that's like the ideal. I think, you know, Expelliarmus, stun them, take their wands, and what are they going to do after you take their wands? You know?
Non-verbal spells?
Yeah, but you
do
have
you need
to do
a wand for non-verbal?
Yeah, your wand channels your magic. You do need your wand, but people who are unbelievably skilled can do wandless magic. Wagadoo, which is the African school, teaches wandless magic, which is like
Wagadoo.
Pretty impressive. This is tearing apart his buddy over here. What? Sorry.
I don't know. I thought it was cool. And McGonagall didn't even say anything about it, if I remember correctly. Yep. Oh, she said that was foolish.
But secretively, she's glad to see him. What did you think of... So there's 3 teachers who kind of pop up in this. What do you think of McGonagall and her duel with Snape?
When does she... Oh, in the... And he like jumps out the window?
Yeah.
A Snape...
He's like a bat.
A Snape-shaped hole in the window. I was like, that's not how that works. I'm confused. Like, he's flying like Voldemort is? Like, he just jumps out and can fly? Or does he turn into a bat? Or like...
My dude can fly now. Voldemort taught him some tricks.
That is awful. Right? I did not need that in my life. But he just flies off into the Shrieking Shack, I guess.
Okay. And he flies off in like search of Voldemort, and then in the end of that, and the end of 32, then he's in the Shrieking Shack with Lucius, and he gets Lucius out, and then they have the whole dialogue and discussion. But
what was their dialogue
about the Elder Wand?
No, McGonagall and Snape though.
McGonagall and Snape didn't really have a dialogue. They didn't really talk. They just kind of dueled.
He just kind of like knew it was over.
Yeah. Snape was like, if anybody knows where Harry Potter is, turn him in immediately. And McGonagall's like, no way. We're not doing this.
Yeah. And she's the true headmistress.
Yeah. She's ours.
I know.
The
my
true
allegiance is with her.
There's some characters also that I want to ask if you trust them. Do you trust Slughorn?
Sure. I don't know. Like, he's very... I don't... Yeah, that's my answer.
That's a good answer.
He seems like he's nervous, like he would like to avoid this entire situation if possible.
Yep.
But I think when it comes down to it, I think he's going to be on the good side.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't see him switching over to Voldemort because like just his past of like Slughorn was already running from the Death Eaters and Voldemort. Mm-hmm. So I feel like he would just do that again. I don't think he'd want to like join them. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would trust him. Okay. From a distance.
Keep him at arm's length.
Yeah. No, I think he's going to be fine.
Yeah. How about this line where it says, there was a scuffling and a great thump. Someone else had clambered out of the tunnel, overbalanced slightly, and fallen. He pulled himself up in the nearest chair, looked around through lopsided horn-rimmed glasses, and said, "Am I too late? Has it started? I only just found out, so I... Percy spluttered into silence. Evidently, he had not expected to run into most of his family. And they have a staring contest, and he goes, "I was a fool," Percy roared, so loudly that Lupin nearly dropped his photograph. "I was an idiot. I was a pompous prat. I was a ministry-loving, family-disowning, power-hungry moron," said Fred. Percy swallowed. "Yes, I was." "Well, you can't say fairer than that," said Fred, holding out his hand to Percy. Mrs. Weasley burst into tears. She ran forward, pushed Fred aside, and pulled Percy into a strangling hug, while he patted her on the back, his eyes on his father. What do you think of Percy's coming back?
I was surprised.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I didn't know he was coming back.
Yeah.
Was he imperious at the ministry?
I mean, that's what you kind of guessed at one point. I don't think so. I think he was just kind of trying to find a way out. Not necessarily imperious, but like, even he kind of describes it like it was impossible to get out. It was difficult. But
do we believe that?
I know. Do you trust him?
In the battle right now, yeah, for sure he's on Hogwarts side. Mm-hmm. Or Harry's side, I guess. But even like his story about the ministry, like if I sat down and had a conversation with him or whatever he's gonna tell his family, that I don't know if I would believe.
Yeah.
Like that side of him I don't trust. But in the heat of battle, I think he's gonna be good and fight for Harry. But like then I guess he has no career after this.
Yeah, he's kind of done.
Just is there gonna be a Ministry of Magic after this? Is Harry gonna be the Minister of Magic?
Ooh, great question.
That would be good. I think he would hate that job.
Yeah.
But
he would definitely hate it.
Yeah, like what's the ministry's fallen? You're gonna lose like half your ministry workers, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, half these people are gonna die or be dead, or like just not want to work at the ministry anymore.
Because the Death Eaters, like that's half of them.
Yeah. The ministry definitely needs a lot of reform after this.
It's gonna be very small.
Yeah, we're gonna run a small operation.
Group of good people.
Yeah.
That would be wild though if Harry became minister.
Who do you think would become minister? So after this is all said and done, in this book, Scrimgeour's, he's dead. Who should become minister after this?
Mr. Weasley.
Oh, that'd be actually great.
Yeah.
He'd be such a good peacetime prime minister, minister of magic.
I could see Lupin doing it too.
That could be pretty good. I could see that. A little dangerous, but pretty good.
Oh, yeah, he's a werewolf.
Yeah. You'd have a lot of werewolf legislation going on there.
Hey, everybody gets an extra week off for whatever. 3 weeks a month Ministry of Magic.
Yeah. Every full moon you get a week off.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of great. I'd be down with that.
I would like Lupin in that.
I feel like Lupin would be good too.
Luna, maybe.
Luna would be the best. We all know Luna would be the best.
Luna.
She'd
Looney
be so great.
And Moony. The ministry. They could be like co-ministers.
Yeah, Looney Mooney 24. That's their ticket. They're running. Prime Minister, Minister of Magic, and Vice Minister of Magic.
And then they're in good hands when it's the full moon.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Right.
Doesn't McGonagall use an unforgivable curse in this too?
What does she do?
I forget. She Crucio someone? Was that Snape that she did it to? Again, I was reading this at like midnight last night. I just look for italics when I...
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, actually. I don't remember that. I kind of don't think that she would.
She said we duel to kill.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's pretty intense.
That is very intense. But I think you can kill in other ways other than Avada Kedavra.
Magical ways?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like Sectum Sempra. You can freeze someone and then throw them off a building.
Oh, McGonagall imperioed somebody. She imperioed Amicus.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. She's doing that out of necessity in the Ravenclaw Tower. Good catch. I didn't recognize that.
Because that was my hot tamale moment.
Ooh, that is a hot tamale moment. Wow.
Because she's like not like that usually. Anyway, as you were saying,
that is an intense hot tamale moment.
Extremely hot.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Anything else in this chapter if we go to the Battle of Hogwarts?
You were saying something. I interrupted you.
I don't know, was I?
Yeah, I think you were talking about her imperiousing in a life or death situation. Or maybe like the other magical ways to kill people is what you were going to say.
I think there's some people who wouldn't ever use an unforgivable curse. McGonagall to me seems like someone like that. But she just used the Imperious Curse. Maybe she wouldn't use a killing curse. I feel like McGonagall wouldn't feel comfortable using the killing curse.
Would she just like straight up knife to the chest?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like I definitely think she would do something else.
Yikes.
Like every knife in Hogwarts or sword in Hogwarts is aimed at Snape, But I don't think she would.
Yeah.
I don't think Avada Kedavra would ever come out of her mouth. Maybe I'm wrong in that characterization of her. Like everyone's capable of surprise and change, but she seems like she's very like loyal, but like she like is, I don't know what the word is, like very true. She sticks to her guns. Convicted. She's very convicted, and I feel like she would be very convicted to not use the unforgivable curses.
She's very moral.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that, but now she just disproved that. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that was like not even necessary, I feel like, either.
Yeah. I was talking a while ago how I think in the Imperious curse is the worst one, but I think I was thinking about that more. I think it's on a spectrum. I think it could be used super harmlessly for like nothing, which if McGonagall is using it harmlessly, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But it has the propensity for the worst as well. More than dying, or than killing someone, and more than torturing them. I agree.
Yeah.
So I think it could potentially be the worst, but it could potentially be nothing.
Yeah, because like you can literally just make someone walk out of your way.
Agreed. Yeah.
Which is essentially what she does, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. So she's like doing something all right here. Even like Harry imperiousing the guy and telling him to go hide in the crack. Like that really doesn't mean anything,
so funny.
So yeah. I don't have anything else in the 30. You got any other notes?
Do I have any notes? Not there. No.
All right, 31. The Battle of Hogwarts.
Oh, I like this sentence in chapter 30 of Flitwick doing the spells in the castle. He's muttering incantations of great complexity. Harry heard a weird rushing noise as though Flitwick had unleashed the power of the wind into the grounds.
That's so cool.
So cool.
Yeah.
Like I can picture like all of it, just like the air is like tense with magic. And they're like, oh, the teachers know how to do magic too. Like we can protect the school, and it's like 30 minutes is all they can get of protection. Yeah. And I feel like that was gracious. Like that was because Voldemort wasn't going full power from the beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
But I was like, oh, you guys think you can, but the Death Eaters are pretty powerful.
Yeah. Although some of the teachers, like I think Flitwick, he was a dueling champion in his day. Like he was incredible at that. So I think all of them could hold their own against them, but I don't think any of them could hold their own against Voldemort. I think Voldemort would wipe the floor with any of them.
And I'm assuming this is the most like dark magic that they've all done like combined, because the Death Eaters will do dark magic, but even on like a duel, it's like normal stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming they're all just like going ham.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason not to.
Yeah. Kind of agree.
And everybody, almost like, are the teachers gonna be law abiding and like not do that? I don't know. Crab or Goyle does like the fire thing later.
The fiend fire, which is crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, like, do you just use dark magic when it's like, is it ever called for?
I mean, it's a great ethical question. I like idealistically, I say no, but like pragmatically, like absolutely, like of course. Like I'd be like saying Avada Kedavra around the corner for everything. Out of self-protection. Yeah, for sure.
Just like go.
It's
out.
either they're dead or I'm dead. It's one or the other. So it's war. But like idealistically, you want to say that the good side should be above that. So the good side shouldn't use any like horrible curses, and those curses should just fall into oblivion. No one remembers those or knows those, and they just are gone. But that's not reality.
They should put like a taboo on all the dark spells that come into being.
Yeah.
And then you just get an aura summoned to you immediately.
Yeah, for real.
That would kind of start.
Honestly, that'd be kind of smart.
Just do that for like
the minute
3 generations until all of the vocabulary has faded, and then you're good to go. And then another Tom Riddle will rise up, and.
But that is like a lot of government censorship. So.
No, yeah. I mean, if it's just on like certain words, I guess.
Yeah. There's probably some stuff that they could do.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's a good question. It made me think of, I think we talked about this a little while ago, whether, like, if wizards attacked muggles right now, who would win in a war? I think muggles would.
Yeah. I'm thinking of all the tanks.
Yeah, the weaponry. Like, they could probably dismantle a lot of tanks and drones that we have, but, like, Can they stop bullets with a wand?
B12.
Yeah. Yeah.
You sure you got that?
They can't even see them. Yeah.
You can't even hear it. You're gonna apparate faster than that thing. Sure.
I remember there was one comedian who was telling like a story about. He's like the Second Amendment, like the right to bear arms. He's like, it didn't mean the same thing that it does like right now. He's like, all these people think they're by having their little rifles that can resist the government. But like some dude in the government is just gonna drive a drone right up to your house and like, it's like, is this a fair fight? Can I hit the button? And he hits the button and like you're dead. It's like your little rifle is not gonna do anything to prevent that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this. I feel like wizards aren't gonna have any like answers for all of our weaponry.
I feel like in like guerrilla warfare, or when you start like just not following the rules of war, if you're hiding or you're like going full civilian mode and
Which is like a coup,
like attacking the people rather than like an army. Because then like me versus a wizard, I'm going down. But like if you're trying to do like an actual battle or like a legit war, I just don't see it happening. If you know where the enemy is, it's like we're gonna snipe you. Like we can do that.
Kind of agree.
Cause like a sniper is like equal to a wand in my mind. Yeah. Like the speed of that.
They should have just gotten like the U.S. Marines, posted a bunch of snipers on the
even like the distance of like between you and your target. I feel like that's like equal.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you.
And there's way more muggles.
Yeah.
Good. I feel better now. Just in case there's any wizards out there.
Yep. All right, 31 is when they start the battle. What do you think about the Gray Lady?
Oh, yeah. What is this Gray Lady?
So she's the ghost of Ravenclaw Tower. And then...
She was very spooky to me. I was like, for the first time in this book, I was like actually spooked. I hate ghosts.
Again, the
and
movies
she's just like walking
great.
down the thing so slowly. Her hair is long. Yeah. I don't like that.
And then she has like a revelation that the Bloody Baron was the one that was like her suitor. No, he was the one that kind of died. And then he wears chains as an act of penance.
The Bloody Baron's the guy whose head got
No, it's Nearly Headless Nick.
Okay.
The Bloody Baron is the Slytherin ghost, and he's just covered in blood and wears chains. And we finally like learned why he does that. Ew. It was never really that important, but you kind of figure out why he wears.
He just has a bow tie in my mind. That's the only thing that's different. Is like Casper, but a bow tie.
I forgot about your Casper depictions.
Blood to this now.
That is so funny.
Nearly Headless Nick, you know those big like collars that are like round and they look like like tissue paper or something. That's like Nearly Headless Nick has that.
I love that.
But yeah, because then remember I said the axe is in the room of requirement. That's why I was like scared that was gonna disprove that, but that's not him. That's Nearly Headless Nick.
Yeah.
So what is he gonna do? That's his unfinished business. Is just like he has to suffer forever. It's like the ghosts of Christmas past or whatever.
Pretty much, he's just in penance for the rest of eternity. Ugh. I wonder if ghosts ever are given like a second chance, if they can like depart this earth, like, or what a ghost would do to be able to do that. Like you become a ghost and you immediately regret it. And you're like, oh, I'm stuck like this for eternity. That would suck.
Well, if you're doing penance, maybe there is like a time frame.
Yeah.
Like maybe 10 years of this, or you have to like do enough good.
Yeah, right.
That they'll like whoever's like in charge of the ghosts.
We're talking about purgatory right now.
Whoever's in charge of the ghosts.
Ghosts purgatory.
And their citizenship will let them go and change them. Yeah, because none of them ever come back to life, but none of them even go anywhere. They're all here permanently.
Yeah.
That's so odd. I don't feel like that's how ghosts are in real life. I think ghosts come and go in real life. I don't think they're like here eternally.
Okay.
I think they have lifetimes.
I feel like you thought about this a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure. Some of them are really old, but I don't know. I don't ever picture like a ghost as an eternal like being.
I'm actually kind of with you.
Because there's like ghosts from the Civil War.
Yeah.
But that's like not that long ago.
Yeah, it's not that long ago, but it's more than a lifetime. It's a few lifetimes away.
Yeah, but maybe how many lifetimes do you live? Maybe you just have to live like X amount.
Yeah.
and that's like your ghost time. Because like, is there ever a ghost? We don't have like a long history compared to like the rest of the world, but like as a country. But I don't know if there's like ghosts in these old European castles that are like,
I
oh,
think so. Yeah.
7,000 or like I don't know.
Yeah.
900-year-old ghost is.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if you got like to the pyramids, there's probably people around that are telling all sorts of ghost stories
Valid.
about that. Yeah.
Yo, that would be so haunted. Actually, I'd be so scared.
It'd be kind of terrifying.
Yeah, I feel like ghosts just expire. I don't know. Maybe they need to do their job, and then they can go. It is penance. I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually kind of true. What are they doing?
The ones in like the Egypt or the pyramids, like, are they just guarding? So their business is always unfinished?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Once you finish your business as a ghost, you're able to go. That'd be interesting.
What is like the ghost in Scrooge? What do they have to do? Because doesn't when Scrooge become nice, like they are released?
I don't know, actually. I don't think so.
Because is it Jacob Marley that's the one that's...
Yeah, he's the one that's chained. Chains? Yeah.
Huh. I don't know.
We should come up with like some ghost theory about this. If anybody is a ghost hunter out there, let us know.
Ghost lore.
Yeah, ghost lore. That'll be our next podcast.
I hate ghosts. Lore. I don't want to have the conversation. It needs to feel very fake and not
Casper.
close.
It needs to be Casper. A bunch of Casper is floating around the castle.
Exactly. She's not Casper though. She's just like herself. And there's a good chapter art of her too, which is like exactly how I picture her. So that did it for me.
She's great in the movies too. One of my favorite scenes in the movies. Yeah. So they send the Slytherins down to the dungeons. You kind of learn why Voldemort applied for the job, or Tom Riddle applied for the job, mainly because he was just trying to find the sword and he was trying to hide the object. And then this is one of my favorite lines in the whole series. This woman goes, "I was the last to come through," said Mrs. Longbottom. "I sealed it. I think it unwise to leave it open now Aberforth has left his pub. Have you seen my grandson? He's fighting," said Harry. "Naturally," said the old lady proudly. "Excuse me. I must go and assist him." With surprising speed, she trotted off toward the stone steps. I love that because I love Neville so much. So Neville's my guy. He's off there fighting. His grandma's so proud that he's like off fighting, living up to the family name. Yeah. Her grandma should have accepted him, before, but still, I love Neville's growth.
Yeah, he definitely has, I think, one of the biggest character developments in the story.
Yeah. All right, so what do you think of Crabbe and Goyle using, or like, what do you think the whole situation where they go into the room of requirement? Crabbe and Goyle and Malfoy are there. Who is it? Does Crabbe use it, or does Goyle use Fiendfire? I think Crabbe uses Fiendfire.
Yeah, I want to say it was Crabbe.
One of the two, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Crabbe dies. Yeah.
I dislike Crabbe and Goyle more, and I dislike Malfoy less.
Yeah.
So I always thought Crabbe and Goyle were just like brainless and just kind of like Malfoy's minions, but now it's like actually of their own action that they're like choosing to go against Harry and they want to kill Harry, which I think still shows like they're dumb because he's like, "Oh, the Dark Lord's gonna be happy even if we do kill him." It's like, no, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
But
they're idiots.
Yeah. So they're still idiots, but like they actually want to do work for the Dark Lord. And Malfoy, I feel like Draco is kind of like pulling back from that. Like in this scene, obviously he's really going at it, but then when Harry saves him, I'm like, ooh, like I wonder if he's still thinking about like or regretting what he's done. But I have a lot more like pity for Draco now.
What you said was interesting because it makes me think like Draco is actually keeping Crabbe and Goyle at bay in some weird way, not intentionally, but like were Crabbe and Goyle like pretty sick in the head, and because they were subservient to Malfoy, They just did whatever Malfoy did. And if they were released, would they have been like significantly more harm to other students like earlier on?
Like throughout the whole series?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're just idiots, to be honest, but could they have done
but maybe they're dumb and they're learning all these dark spells and they're like doing stuff in their common room at night, and they're like actually mastering all these dark spells. That would be crazy. Yeah, there's seriously. Like untapped power because Malfoy's the leader.
Yep. And
I feel like Malfoy was kind of always scared to be super out there and like be a dark wizard, but it's like showy to me rather than like his heart wasn't in it. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm kind of
in the the previous books, because this one he's got to do what he's got to do because he's probably gonna die if he doesn't.
Okay, so diary's gone, the ring's gone, the locket's gone.
Here we go again.
The diadem is destroyed. Is Nagini truly the only one left? Nagini and Harry. Is that the only... Wait, I'm missing one.
Okay, wait, let me do it. The diary's gone.
Yep.
Ring is gone. Cup is gone.
Cup, there you
go. Okay, let's switch hands. So then we have Harry, Nagini. No, I'm gonna get stuck. 3, 4, 5.
The locket.
The locket's gone.
So
Voldemort.
You have the diary.
How many is this?
No.
That's 7?
Yeah, but you definitely counted it wrong. The diary, the diadem, the locket, the cup, and the ring. Those are ones that have been destroyed. Nagini and Harry.
Nagini and Harry.
Is it really true that those are the only 2, or is there another one lurking out there somewhere?
That's 7, and then Voldemort's extra on top of that. Why are you asking? I don't know. What's coming out of Snape's eyeballs and his ears?
It's a great question. Voldemort? We'll get there in a second.
I feel like there is not more Horcruxes, but the opportunities are endless.
Okay.
But like, I feel like I've said it was 7 before, and you went along with that long enough that I think you're just trying to like confuse me at this point.
In reality, my question should be, because you shouldn't know about Harry being a Horcrux yet. So in reality, the question is, there's 6 Horcruxes. Is Nagini the only one left? But I'm just like, playing it, saying, is Harry and Nagini on the... But maybe the stuff coming out of Snape's eyes is another Horcrux. I
don't think so. Yeah, I don't even understand. Like, I thought maybe... Okay, well, we'll go to the next chapter before
we go to the next chapter, what do you think about our guy, Fred?
Oh my goodness. I was so sad.
Isn't that devastating?
I knew like one of the Weasleys died at least. But yeah, that was really sad. And he didn't even... That was like the first injury that he's had, because Ginny's been messed up, Ron, Mr. Weasley, and George. So maybe Fred and Bill are gonna die.
Yeah.
Or Mrs. Weasley better not die. That would be atrocious. But yeah, I was really sad. And then Percy was just like laying on him or something. It's like, bro, get up, fight the war. But like, yeah, also that's tragic.
I love that Percy does that. Ugh.
Yeah, he's had no time to reconcile anything.
Yep.
They had one cool moment, one nice little duel battle together. And Fred is like, you're choking, like you're actually choking. And then, boom, he's dead.
I will say this. Out of any of the Weasleys that would hold a grudge the least amount, it would be the twins, in my opinion. Ron would hold a grudge. Ron has held a grudge for a long time. Mr. and Mrs. Weasley would definitely let that go, but like you need to like have a conversation with them, a full, long conversation, like apologize, all that kind of stuff. For the twins, they just need to make fun of you once, and they're good with you again,
that's true.
I think the twins' greatest attribute. They're brilliant. Love the twins for everything they contribute to the wizarding world, for their weapons contracting. But more than anything else, how they're able to forgive someone so quickly is pretty astonishing. It's like pretty remarkable. like their brother comes back, and then like how in this moment with Fred, who I think is even like, you know, the most forgiving out of all the Weasleys, like a little more outgoing, a little bit more like to have this moment with him where he's like, you're actually joking. Fred was the right person to die as far as Percy needing to reconcile with the rest of his family.
Yeah.
Like,
because
he
there's
reconciled with them already.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And they were friends. They were buddies. They were fighting together till Fred's death. In Fred's mind, when he died, Percy was a great brother.
Wow, that hurts more.
Yeah, right?
Percy's older than the twins, right?
Yeah, Percy's older. He's, I think, 2-3 years older than the twins.
Wow. That made it worse.
I know.
Thanks
That's what
for
I do.
that.
I just make things sadder and I make things worse.
I thought I had thought it through, but apparently not.
All right, let's go to the Elder Wand, chapter 32.
The Elder Wand.
What do we think of this?
I think Snape knew that the wand wasn't going to work, but he didn't tell Voldemort.
You kind of mentioned this in the previous podcast as well, that Snape is the actual owner of the Elder Wand.
It makes sense. But what's Snape's plan with that? Like, when are you going to either get the Elder Wand or, like, you can't prevent Voldemort from having it because, like, you killing Dumbledore essentially is, like, opening the door for Voldemort to get the wand. So I don't see, like, where Snape's plan would have been with that if he knew that that's how that worked.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see it being something that Snape knew about. And then the other thing is, like, the intention was that Draco kill Dumbledore in that moment, which maybe then Voldemort was just going to kill Draco, and then boom, you have the wand.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
And then he doesn't have to deal with killing Dumbledore.
So you talked about that before as well, that you don't necessarily think Draco would be the owner of the Elder Wand because he wasn't the one that killed him.
Yeah.
But he could potentially.
Like now, though, no. I'm pretty sure it would just be Snape.
Yeah.
But then, I guess Snape's dead, so then he owns the Elder Wand.
Is he?
I don't know.
What do you think about Snape through all this?
I'm confused. Like, that last page that I just read is like, I should have had time to think about this.
Yeah.
I don't know what this little substance is that's coming out of him.
Okay.
Am I supposed to? Is that like a Patronus that never got used? Okay. Is Snape the dough?
Why would Snape be the dough?
Because he's alive. No, I mean, I don't even think Snape believes in Patronis.
What would Snape's Patronus be if he had a Patronus?
I feel like we've said this before.
A bat. I think we said a bat.
Yeah. Or maybe his animagus form.
Yeah.
He looks like a bat when he's flying.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why is it in a cup? What are they gonna do with it? Why did he know what it is and he doesn't know what he needs to do? But then they're like, quick, harvest the glow that's coming out of Snape.
Because what is Snape exactly say? Let me read this to you. Harry took off the invisibility cloak and looked down upon the man he hated, whose widening black eyes found Harry as he tried to speak. Harry bent over him, and Snape seized the front of his robes and pulled him close. A terrible rasping, gurgling noise issued from Snape's throat. Take it. Take it. Something more than blood was leaking from Snape.
Take that stuff.
Silvery blue. Neither gas nor liquid. It gushed from his mouth and his ears and his eyes, and Harry knew what it was, but did not know what to do. A flask, conjured from thin air, was thrust into his shaking hands by Hermione. Harry lifted the silvery substance into it with his wand. When the flask was full to the brim, and Snape looked as though there was no blood left in him, his grip on Harry's robe slackened. "Look at me," he whispered. The green eyes found the black, but after a second, something in the depths of the dark pair seemed to vanish, leaving them fixed, blank, and empty. The hand holding Harry thudded to the floor, and Snape moved no more.
I'm like, so, I don't know. It feels like Snape is going, take this stuff, and then Harry takes it, and then he goes, look at me, so that like he can see that he's dying without that stuff inside him.
Okay.
And then maybe like Harry needs to like drink it or something. Like, I don't know. And then like maybe you can live like maybe that was Snape's like life support potion, or like is that like something that Snape created? Is that like the aura of being like a dark wizard is like.
So you're saying like even with this, like how Bathilda was, you know, this snake, how Snape is essentially just this silvery goo, just like he was dead weeks before, but he's just this silvery goo that, you know, he can reanimate to be Snape.
He's not dead. Or he wasn't dead. Now he is dead, I guess. But why is he? It's like Snape has a mission. It's like he's doing this purposefully. Or I don't know, maybe he would say it to anybody. Why does Harry know what this stuff is?
Why, indeed.
Am I supposed to know what this is?
No, you're supposed to take guesses.
Ugh.
I mean...
When other people read this, do other people know what it is? Or am I just dumb? Did you know what it was the first time you read it?
I don't remember the first time I read it. If I knew what it was. Because, I mean, I'm different from you two, is that I literally flipped to the next page and just kept reading. So
lucky, it must be nice.
You're stuck with this.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have guesses. I mean, like, it's all guesses at this point. It makes sense what it is. I'll say that. It doesn't help you at all. No. When you figure it out, when you learn what it is, you're going to be like, oh. Okay.
Oh, a blue, not liquid, not gas substance. Makes sense.
And they're putting it in a flask.
A flask.
Yeah.
Which seems like it's going to get drank.
Okay.
I just feel like it's the life of Snape is like coming out of him.
Profound.
Yeah. Just jar that up real quick.
Yeah.
Add that to the potion shelf.
Yeah.
Maybe like you can destroy a Horcrux with that stuff.
What? Okay, so here's one question: Is Snape giving this up willingly? Does he have an option to hold this back or to give it?
Is it like a memory? It's a memory.
I don't know.
It's a memory.
Why would you say that?
Because he needs Harry to go see something from Snape's point of view.
What the heck can we know from Snape's point of view?
Because Snape is with the Dark Lord all the time.
Okay, so how is that going to help us defeat the Dark Lord in any way?
Knowing information about him?
Yeah,
I don't know what Snape knows.
The Dark Lord has the Elder Wand now. It's his rightful owner.
Yeah.
What information could we learn from... Because Harry just needs to know he needs to destroy the Horcruxes.
I don't know. I just feel like it's a memory that like... And then they put it in a jar and then they're going to pour it in the pensive.
Okay.
I don't know. That's my only coherent thought about this. I feel like there would just be a lot to gain from listening to Snape. I think Snape doesn't want to serve the Dark Lord. I feel like even just the fact that like him being the whatever head of Hogwarts, what's that thing called?
Headmaster?
Yeah, headmaster. Like him being headmaster was like not even written into the book that much. And that makes me feel like he didn't want that job. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's like the key of how to defeat Voldemort or something.
Okay. I like it.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Something like that.
You can go home and read this
it is a memory though. That feels like a good idea. Is it a memory? Tell me if I'm right.
No, I'm not going to tell you if you're right. You're going to... You could go home and read the next like 2 pages and you'll figure it out.
I could just...
You can't do it now.
Take a peek.
Nope.
Honestly, my self-control has been astonishing.
Yeah, I was actually... When I put that little note on the book, I was like just shocked that you stopped at that point. Because I was like right in the middle of the...
I'm not like that at all. Sure, I've been really good for the podcast.
Well done, Lizzie.
For your sake.
You're the best.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. Anything else in this chapter? I mean, this is essentially just like Voldemort is circling Snape, talking about the Elder Wand, saying he owns it. They kill him. All of a sudden, this stuff oozes out of him. I was almost about to say what oozed out of him real quick. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much. But
go ahead. Tell me. It'll be like it's fun to hear from you too. I feel like rather than read the story. Is it like it's gonna make sense to me when I hear it?
Yeah. Okay.
Because then we can talk about it.
You're right. It's memories.
Okay, let's go.
So well done.
That's so good. Yeah. I'm so proud of myself.
Well done. That was a good guess.
Thanks.
You circled it.
We got there. See, I just need time to think.
Agreed.
The brain is a little slow.
You read this late at night last night, so you needed a little time to process
I read this like an hour ago on your couch, actually. Yeah, it just needs time to circle around a few times.
It's got to percolate a little bit.
It's a memory. I see you tried to gaslight me, but I didn't. I didn't let you. I'm learning. Acclimacy. Exactly. I won't let you get to me.
You're very good at it now.
Okay, so if it's a memory, it's definitely some memory with like Voldemort, I think. Or maybe like a Dumbledore memory. I don't know.
Well, okay, so if these are memories, what do they contain? Or this is a memory, what does it contain?
Maybe the things that Snape did when he was gone from Hogwarts. Like when everybody's like, oh, where's Snape? Snape's not trustworthy. It's like the other side of that story of like, this is what I was actually doing. Like, get my story straight. But when I die, don't let my name get smeared.
And do you want to, this isn't, man, this is the weird part. Because I want to correct your understanding. You need to take something out of your brain right now. Because at this point, you know something that you shouldn't know.
That Harry's a Horcrux? Okay.
You shouldn't know that at this point.
Yeah.
So people go into this chapter.
Which is funny to me because that's like the one thing that I've known the entire time.
Yeah, it's like literally the whole point of the book.
That would have changed so much. Okay. I need to forget that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't like help you figure out what the exact contents of this memory are, but to some extent.
Forgetting Harry's a Horcrux helps me understand what Snape's memory is.
Well, like you'll know what the memory part of the memory
how Harry becomes a Horcrux.
A smidgen of it is about that.
So this is Harry's gonna look at this memory and then learn that he's a Horcrux. Okay.
And that's where we learn it in the book.
Gotcha.
So like by you already knowing that, like really that's kind of like a huge point of
the epiphany is gonna be gone.
Yeah. But it's still gonna be a great chapter.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't understand that completely because I'm like, how are you gonna kill? You can't kill Voldemort until you're dead. But surprise, you're dead. You can't kill Voldemort. So it's like a dead end.
I know. It's a great point. It's a dead end. How is this gonna happen? We'll talk about that. I know
because Harry's gonna get all the Hallows.
Maybe.
Or is the Hallows destroyed? This stone is not.
Okay, so this is actually a fascinating point because you're gonna read the next few chapters just together. So like the last year, we're just gonna discuss all together. Yeah. But if Harry realizes he's a Horcrux, and he has to be destroyed, then what is gonna happen?
I don't know because Harry has to be the one to kill Voldemort.
Yeah.
Unless if Voldemort tries to kill Harry and it does another like bounce back situation where like you can't die and Harry's like actually invincible. And then that's still not fulfilling the prophecy. Unless if you're going to get to the end of the story and they're going to be like, prophecies are fluid. They're what you make them. And then I'm just going to be mad that it's like that.
Don't worry. It's not going to be that.
Trelawney's going to come out of the attic and be like, just kidding. You don't really have to.
I told you the whole time.
Yeah. Is Trelawney still around? Did she die or something? Like, what happened to her? I haven't heard.
Yeah, she's still around. She's fighting. She's like
haven't heard from her in a while.
She's casting the crystal balls at people. It was great. It was a great little.
She's like, I got more of them. Then she just throws one out the window. I was like, well, that wasn't great, but okay. Dude, the spiders would take me out if I saw those coming in the door.
I mean, I'd be out. I'd be like, I'd disaparate immediately.
Is Hagrid dead now?
Is he?
I don't know. He's getting carried away in like a stampede of spiders.
Yeah.
So
that would suck.
Part of me thinks that the spiders are like, oh no, they were gonna hurt Hagrid, and then they like take Hagrid away, and then they're all gonna have like a little powwow in the woods.
I don't know about that one, but
we're saving Hagrid. Because it didn't say like he got trampled on; he was like carried by them into the forest.
That's kind of true.
So they're
looking out for him.
There's hope. Yeah,
we'll see.
Who else is in like up in the air right now?
I mean, everyone in the castle is up in the air because they're surrounded right now.
True, yeah.
So anybody could die.
I don't know if anyone has died yet, actually. Like, I don't know if people are killing the Death Eaters or not.
We just know of Fred. He's the only one that we know has died.
I'm scared that, like, all of this is going to happen outside. Or, like, well, they're in the Shrieking Shack. Mm-hmm. I don't know where it's going to happen. But then they're going to, like, do, like, a walkthrough and then just be like, oh, he's dead. She's dead. They're dead. And I'm going to be like, no. Because I'm assuming people are going to die really soon.
We'll see.
Is this the last chunk? I'm going to read this and finish the book.
You're finishing the entire chunk.
This is wild.
I know. It's a lot, but it's going to be good.
I can't believe it's going to be over.
I know. But then we'll do the movies.
Oh, yeah. The movies are going to take forever.
Then we'll do Star Wars movies.
How many times have you watched the movies?
Oh, like 20.
You're not sick of them?
No. They're great. They're fun.
Crazy.
Because these aren't movies that, like, I don't know. I get sick of certain movies, but these ones, like, I have it in the background. Like, I don't, like, watch these adamantly. I'm not going to, like, sit down and watch the Harry Potter movies. But I, like, throw them on because they're, like, little comfort movies. I'll like sit and like cook dinner and quote the entire movie as it's playing, you know?
I can like talk as much as I want during the movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because then it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Because I can just tell you like every little difference of things that I think.
Yep.
I've only watched a movie like other than childhood where like National Treasure or something is like always on. I've only watched movies like 3 times at the most. I like don't rewatch movies.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I don't really watch movies in general. So why do I rewatch them?
So Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is the only one that we rewatch.
Well, the grand total of 2 times.
That's true.
So I got to get on my yearly trilogy grind for that.
Yes. It's the best.
Trelawney might die. Now that we bring her up.
It'd be a bummer if Trelawney died.
Yeah,
I love her.
Like, what's anybody got against her?
Someone did message me on Discord and be like, hey, by the way, I fully agree with you about Trelawney's predictions, all of her predictions being right.
Bet you love that.
I was like, let's go, another person on my side. So pumped.
That's cool. That's why you're in the community, so you guys can find each other.
Yeah, I know, exactly. That's we nerds can nerd out together.
Niche opinions.
Exactly.
I mean, you kind of converted me like pretty early on. I definitely like have my doubts. Like I'm not gonna sing her praises, but many of the things do seem to align to her prophecies. So.
Oh yeah, don't worry. Well, I can go through all of her predictions and explain every one of her predictions. So you know that Harry's a Horcrux. In one point, and this is like one of the last things I'll say before we wrap it up. In one point, she predicts that Harry has a December birthday. And Harry's like, haha, you're an idiot. Nope, my birthday is in July. Voldemort has a December birthday. So most people think that what she's doing is she's reading the chunk of Voldemort that's the Horcrux inside Harry. That is Voldemort. A piece of Voldemort being inside of Harry. And that's what she's seeing.
I like that. That's
interesting. I could come up with an explanation for all the other ones as well. She's the best. She's my fave.
Except the fact that every year a student's supposed to die and nobody's ever died. That's the only one that you can't answer.
She hasn't. No. She doesn't predict that they're going to die within the year's end. You know how many students have died at Hogwarts?
Everybody's going to die.
Yeah, but maybe not like that. So she's not predicting of natural causes of death. She's predicting dramatic moments of death. Fred, Cedric.
At any point in their life.
Yeah, we're talking about But
every year she picks like one death student.
Yeah, because every year there's probably some dramatic person that's going to die.
No, not true.
I'll justify that. We don't know all the people that she picked. I kind of wish we had a list of all the people that she picked so I can justify it.
Yeah.
But
you know their stories more.
Yeah. That's all we got though. Anything else in these?
Like how Harry closes his eyes and then he's watching Snape from Voldemort's point of view instead of just like being in the... That's just occlumency, right? Like that's
legilimency, yeah.
Legilimency. That's like how that is normally.
Yep.
I really like how he got to the point of like being able to do that.
Well, actually, legilimency is a little different. Legilimency is more so like reading the person's mind. The reason that Harry's able to like see through his eyes is because of their connection.
Yeah.
So legilimency, you can't ever really do that.
So like maybe, if he was legilimencying him from the the little tunnel, that would still be like you're watching it in your mind, but you're watching it like third person, right? You're not like.
Yeah. No, I think it's actually you're watching it through his mind. You're seeing it, like through his eyes. That's kind of what I pictured of this one.
Even like legitimacy earlier in the series, you're not living through somebody's whatever they're doing right now. It's like you're looking into the files of their brain or like whatever memories. Yeah. Like to see if they're telling the truth. It's not like you're following them around in there.
I mean, I guess like if we're gonna get real scientific, like your sight is just like a file in your brain. So if you have access to that file, you can see what the person's seeing. If you want to get real nerdy and scientific about it. I don't really know anything about that's like I don't know anything about the brain. You probably know a heck of a lot more than I do. So
probably not. Interesting.
I am excited for the Fantastic Beasts movies because there's one character that I think you'll like who's like a Legilimens, and it's interesting to see how this person can read minds. It's kind of fun.
I feel like I am an Occlumens now because I like don't let you guess.
You would be the world's greatest Occlumens after this podcast. I've trained you right.
Just like unfazed by whatever you're saying. Like, okay, I don't think so.
I do think just in this world too, I think you'd actually be a really good Occlumens.
Why? Just like not listening to people.
You just shut people out. You don't listen to people. No. And that you don't. I don't think you. At least you don't show on the outside, like when things get to you. You're just like a very tough individual. I feel like tough individuals can be Occlumens. So.
Cool.
I gotcha.
I like that.
Well, that's all we got.
I can't wait to finish this book.
I know. You can enjoy and read.
Yep.
It's going to be great.
Well, thanks for joining us on our journey of Harry Potter and the Second Time Reader.
Bye.
See ya.